it was my 9 to 5 that funded my business because I didn't get any loans. I didn't take out. I didn't get any grants. I wouldn't get approved for any grants. So I had to fund it all myself. So there were times when I would cry and say, "Look at all this money going." Like all this money, I could have had it in my savings. You know what I mean? Like there's times when I think about that, but then God put this on my heart for a reason.
I heard somebody say recently, I was moderating this panel, and one of the ladies, she's a celebrity hairstylist, and she said technically hairstylists aren't supposed to be working past 10 years, like because of the toll that it takes on your body, like your wrist. She's like, I've had wrist surgeries, like just standing up and all of the things. She's like, our lifespan is like 10 years, literally.
It's true. And I started to get pain in my hands to the point where I, like, on my way home, I couldn't even hold the pole on the train.
Really?
Yeah, it was. And that's why, so when you're in school, and there's a lot of self-taught hairstylists, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you undergo proper training, they teach you the proper way to hold your shears, your scissors, the proper blow dryer, your brush. Like, all these things are to help, with the longevity of your career. But when you're self-taught, you're not learning the foundation and the basics of that stuff. So sometimes it can, shorten your time as a hairdresser. Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. Like, some people's bodies are different, but for the most part, like, there are ways that you can do things to kind of, fix those issues that might come about. But
welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get authentic answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. Join me every week as me and my special guest reveal the keys to longevity and success in the beauty industry, from the ups and downs of their journey to the nitty-gritty of their struggles and triumphs. We're spilling the tea on it all, and most importantly, having fun while doing it. You ready?
Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty here, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. Now, on today's episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast, I had the pleasure of having Amanda Ambroise in the Friends in Beauty guest chair. So Amanda is a seasoned stylist who has adorned the locks of elites, graced runways of Fashion Week, glamorized TV screens, and serviced many in the heart of New York City. Ambroise, renowned for its custom wigs, catering to a diverse clientele, has expanded its offerings with the launch of the Nourishing Hair Fragrance. This debut hair product embodies luxury and elegance, delivering a captivating scent while nourishing hair and extensions with a blend of premium products. And I'm so excited to learn more about it. So welcome to the Friends of Beauty podcast, Amanda.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. That was such a beautiful intro. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Like, when you hear stuff like that, do you be like, are they really talking about me? Do you feel like that?
A little pat on the back, a little bit to myself,
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm so excited to learn more about you and your business. But before we do that, we're going to start off with some icebreakers just to get us warmed up. And I always say to the Friends of Beauty audience, can get to know you a little bit outside of what you do professionally. So the first one, just give us 3 random facts about you.
Random facts. I'm obsessed with chocolate.
Ooh.
I love chocolate.
This always gets people, we got to talk about yourself. You be like,
yeah,
damn.
it's random facts. So my favorite color is gold. And I actually have many talents that people don't really know about too.
Okay.
One of them is that I'm really good at drawing too.
Yeah.
I can look at an image and imitate it most times. If I can really concentrate, I can get it like almost identical, which is really surprising to me too, because I've never really like cared to do it. But if I'm focused, like I could really draw.
That's dope.
That's a random thing. Yeah.
Do you go to like sipping paints and stuff like that?
I have done a few. I don't do it as often as I would like, but I have done a few like sipping paints and stuff. So those are cool too. Yeah.
I don't know if I could draw that well. I could paint pretty well, like with instruction. I'm looking at this painting that I was trying to do last night. I'm not done with it. I can't show y'all. It look a little crazy. But I
Yeah.
think I do pretty good with painting, and something I'm trying to like just get into creatively, just to have like another creative outlet that doesn't have to do with makeup and stuff.
Yeah, it's nice and it's very refreshing and very like calming to do. Like when I used to go to the sip and paint, it's probably why I don't do it no more because I take it seriously, right? So everyone's there having a good time and they just whatever. I'm like, no, I need to get in the lines. Like I'm really taking my time and really trying to perfect this painting, and
Yeah,
everyone else is having a blast. So it's just, but for me, it's like a very relaxing and calming thing to do.
yeah.
So like just to sip and paint is it's cool and all, but I'm gonna be the only one focused on my work.
I know that's right. No sipping, all painting, no sip.
Yeah.
What do people always tell you that you're good at, like aside from what you do?
They've always said I'm just good with my hands. So
Okay.
yeah, that's just one thing I've always heard. Like she's really good with her hands. Like she's just naturally good with her hands. So anything that anyone asks me to do, I'm usually just able to, as long as it's working with my hands, I could do it. I could,
Hmm.
figure it out. So that's one thing that I've always heard like throughout my years. Like you're
Yeah.
just good with your hands. Like,
I
yeah,
love that. That's cool. Hence, being a hairstylist and everything too.
exactly. Exactly.
Uh-huh. When is the last time that you did something for the first time? Have you had any new experiences?
Yeah. So it's funny. During my trip at Aruba, I did my first cliff jumping. It wasn't even that high either.
Okay. I still be
Really
scared.
like it was scary. So, and I have the video too. I'm not gonna post it. But so it was 10 feet from the water, which is not really that high when you look at it,
Yeah.
like looking at it. But then the water was 7 feet. So I
Oh,
was
wow.
all confident, like, oh, I could do this. I want to do it. So I get down there and I see the other people jumping, and I'm like, okay, well, I could do that. As soon as I climb to the edge and I'm looking down, I'm like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it because you're looking at the 10 feet plus the water is so clear
You can
that you
see the bottom.
see the bottom. So I'm like, that's 20 feet right there. Like to me, that's 20 feet. And so I was so scared, but I did it. I jumped off, but I didn't push off. And so I scraped my foot on a rock while I
Oh,
was jumping down. So, but that was the first time I've done something. So it wasn't that long ago.
do you know how
But
to swim?
I'm a great swimmer. Yeah, I know how to.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the crazy thing is like I know how to swim, but I still be like hesitant to do stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that now that I'm older, I'm more hesitant to do these type of things.
Right.
Because like I said, I was confident up until I got there. Because normally, like I've gone skydiving before. Like, you know
Okay.
what I mean? So now I'm like, oh, it must be because I'm getting older. Like there's just certain things that I'm just
You know too much.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Well, kudos to you for conquering that fear. I feel like the next time you do it, you might just run and jump.
No, I'm just it's not gonna be a next time.
One and done.
One and done.
Okay. Do you have a mini win, like something like a milestone that you reached so far this year that you're really proud of?
Mm, Honestly, this year it has to be the launch of my product.
Yeah.
I was very afraid. I was scared to do it. I just didn't think I didn't know if anyone would really like it. And just the amount of feedback I've got, the sales I've gotten, and all that stuff is just like it's a big win, but it's also a mini win for me to kind of just like overcome that fear.
Yeah.
Um, and it's a huge win because like I did something like pretty big. Like I launched the whole product. So I'd say for this year, I'd have to claim that one as my little mini win.
Awesome. I love it. Is there anything else you could see yourself doing? Like if you weren't a brand owner right now, any other aspirations that you always been like, I think I might want to try that one day.
Hmm. There's so many things that I've tried to dabble into that and like I'm just always try like so even with like my 9 to 5, like it's something that I've never done before and I've jumped into it and I've actually been doing really well. So I'd say that's also another win, kind of just like switching careers at in my 30s.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I've been a hairstylist most of my life, and
Yeah.
when I decided to retire from doing hair, I still wanted to be working while I was working on my product, and I just switched careers like just completely. Like I went from making my own schedule to then working a 9 to 5 and in a corporate environment. And it's,
Right.
so different, but I conquered it, and that's
Yeah.
something great. So yeah.
Have you always had, because you've been doing hair so long, has corporate always been like a curiosity of yours, like just to see what goes on over there?
No, all I remember was, my corporate clients coming in with their laptops, and I'm like, "Oh, you working today?" "Yeah, I'm just working from home." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, well, that seems kind of like flexible enough for me, for someone who's made my own schedule. If I can find an opportunity that I can work where I'm at, like that would be great. I could still live a life and not feel so restricted in an office, and,
Yeah.
still kind of get work done." But no, I never really thought of a corporate job, but I kind of just like fell into it when I was searching different opportunities that I would probably be interested in. So
Yeah, that's like a dream of mine right now. Like just to have something, because I'm mostly in the house anyway. So I'm like, if I could find a remote job and
yeah,
still be able to take clients when I can or do podcast interviews, I'm like, that would be perfect. Like
yeah,
collecting that coin and, still collecting my other coin.
yeah, it's tough because not only is it corporate, but it's also corporate and tech. So
Hmm.
it's like I'm not even a technical person, and I'm trying to figure out tech stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting though, but
Yeah. Did you feel some kind of way having to get a job?
I did. I still
Okay.
do. I still
'Cause I know a
do.
lot of people feel that way, especially if you've been an entrepreneur for so long and then you have to get a job. It's like, in a sense, I know we make up this thing in our own heads. It's like we kind of failed in a sense, like we failed our business.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? I know you're enjoying the episode, but I have to put you on to Friends in Beauty's newest community, the Trailblazers Club. The Trailblazers Club is a place where success not only leaves clues, but becomes a tangible reality for beauty pros just like you. See, a lot of my friends in beauty are so talented and so skilled at what they do, but they lack the essential business skills that are needed to grow and sustain their businesses, or they lack the support that is needed to stay consistent to execute their goals. And that's exactly why I wanted to create the Trailblazers Club, to be able to support you on your journey. Exclusively inside of the Trailblazers Club, you will unlock expert led masterclasses and breakout sessions every single month, monthly Q&A and mentorship with me, your best friend in beauty, an exclusive and extensive network of beauty pros, support and accountability, access, unlimited access at that, to the archive masterclasses, discounts on select Friends in Beauty events and classes, and so much more. And get this, y'all, it's only $25 a month. You heard that right. It's only $25 a month. But you know how Fat Joe said yesterday's price won't be today's price, or, that saying, that's exactly how it's going to be. So you might want to get in while you can. I'll go ahead and leave the link down below, and your fellow trailblazers are inside waiting for you, and we hope to see you soon. Let's go ahead and get back to the episode.
I do. I kind of still feel that way now because I feel like if I didn't have to work, I would be able to put a lot more into my business and really focus on it, right? But for me, I'm really about like stability, and I have a child, right? So
Yes.
I can't just be that person to just say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna quit and just focus on this, because um you just don't know what can go wrong. Like I just need that stability. And
Yeah.
until my business is generating enough for me to pay myself enough to pay my bills and stuff like that,
Yeah.
um, I won't be able to do that. And I wouldn't put myself in a position to, to fall short on bills and stuff like that just because I want to focus on my business. My business is good and I have to make time for it. So that's what I do now.
Right. I love that. I love that. That's gonna be so encouraging to a lot of people, because I know a lot of my friends of beauty who do both, who have their 9 to 5, but they feel the same way. Like I feel like I could be focusing so much more on my beauty business. But I had this coach before. She told me, she's like, girl, you need a job, because like all the stuff that she was telling me to do, I'm like, with what money? Like, what are you
Honey,
talking about? And she's like, you need a job. I was like, well, that bitch, like, okay, you ain't
yeah.
have to tell me like that. But she's like, you need a job, because like people take for granted being able to do their 9 to 5 and having their beauty business, where you could take your 9 to 5 money and fund your beauty business, and you're not as stressed with trying to like make everything work just from your beauty business. Like,
That's
thank
exactly.
God you have a
If I
job.
didn't have my 9 to 5, my product would have never launched. It was my 9 to 5 that funded my business because I didn't get any loans. I didn't take out I didn't get any grants. I wouldn't get approved for any grants, you know,
Yeah.
so I had to fund it all myself. So there were times when I would cry and say, look at all this money going. It's like all this money, I could have had it in my savings, you know what I mean? There's times when I think about that, but then you know, God put this on my heart for a reason. And
Yeah.
so, you know, I need to follow through.
Yes. Let's talk about you launching at the makeup show because that's what I was really not I don't want to use the word impressed, but I was really happy and excited for you to be
Yeah.
able to launch your product at the makeup show in such a big arena where probably your ideal client is there. How did that feel? Like, how did it go for you?
I was scared. I was scared because again, even just to be there at the makeup show was an investment and I'm investing in something and I don't even know what the feedback is going to be yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I was there, I was like so nervous. Like I just didn't know what to expect, but I was like, you know what? I'm here. I'm paid to be here. I said the
Hmm.
goal is to just make the money back that I spent to be here. If I could do that, then you know, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I mean that and more.
I know,
Because
right?
people loved it, you know. And so it just encouraged me now to really like think about other things that I can launch you know, with alongside the hair fragrance. But man, I was scared. I
But
didn't
that's the
know.
thing. We do it scared all the time.
Hmm.
We do
Yeah.
things scared all the time. You never know what the result is going to be until you actually do it.
Yep. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What was your
And,
inspiration? But oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, and then you know, with people knowing that I launched that day, it was some of them based on that just wanted to support me too, which was
Yeah,
beautiful as well. So
yeah, yeah. What was the inspo behind the brand? What made you want to do a hair fragrance and not, anything else in the
yeah.
hair arena?
So, you know, I think at the time when I started to think about what type of product I wanted to launch, there was a lot of people just launching growth oils and, you know, just those things, just so much of that, right?
Yeah,
And I'm just like, you know, I just want, and I've always just, me as a person, just always want to be different. I don't want to be doing what everybody else is doing, right?
yeah.
So Ambroise started off pretty much as, first it started off as just selling bundles, right? Um, then I switched to wigs.
Mhm.
And, you know, a lot of the things that I noticed with working with wigs and hair and stuff like that is the hair holds a lot of scents, right? It holds a lot of smells and stuff like that. So, um, that's just something I noticed, but I didn't think of a hair fragrance. It wasn't until like working with other products, like I've seen other companies launch hair fragrances and
Mhm.
I loved them, but there was just some things about them that I just couldn't use. So I had like my own little restrictions being, you know, a Black girl, natural hair, looking at the ingredients and then seeing how like spraying some of that stuff in my hair would like alter my hairstyle and, you know, kind of just mess up my hair. But I loved the fragrance. I wanted to spray that in my hair.
Right.
And so like I didn't really think too much about it, but you know, years kept going by and I thought, okay, well maybe I'll launch a conditioner. Maybe I'll launch, but I'm like, but everyone has shampoos and conditioners. And then I started to see more and more the hair fragrance thing. And I love my hair to smell good. I
Another.
also, yeah, I also don't love a lot of product in my hair too. So sometimes the only way I would get my hair to smell good, because I wouldn't want to spray body perfume on my hair. Only
Yeah.
way I would get my hair to spray good is if I had a nice oil that smelled good and I'll put it on my hair. But then there goes that. The oil's kind of too heavy. So now, like, you know what I mean? Like I have fine hair. I just gotta blow out a silk press and I'm
Right.
putting the oil in my hair. Now my hair looks greasy. But it smells good, but it looked greasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I finally found somebody to work with to help me develop my product, I said, you know what? I want something that's lightweight. I do want a fragrance. Like I want something, you know, that I can spray in my hair to make my hair smell good, but it has to have some type of nourishing qualities because anyone can spray just perfume in their hair. And I
Mhm.
said, and it has to be formulated for Black women first. Like
Right.
it's that's my main concern because I want everyone to be able to use it, but most importantly, like there's already hair fragrances out, but I want Black women to be able to use this and
Yeah.
feel okay with using it, right? Um, so you know, working with the chemist, it took some time, and you know, I tried my best to not formulate it with alcohol, and then it ended up just being an oil. So we, you know, we kept trying to figure it out. We had different versions of it, and then we finally landed on a version that was good. It does still have alcohol in it. However, it's cut with other natural ingredients, and then it also has the oils, the nourishing oils. So you're spraying it in your hair, but you're still left with some nourishment while that alcohol starts to dry out.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about dryness or anything like that. So we figured it out, and I'm happy with it. I'm so happy with it.
Yeah. I know you said it took some time. Like, how much time did it take between the time that you had the idea and then like the actual finished product in your hand?
By the time I had the idea, it was even before COVID. I would say maybe 5, 6 years. I started thinking about like wanting to launch something. From the time I found the manufacturer to when I had it in my hand was about a year, a little over a year. I think the thing that took the longest was one, figuring out what the product was going to be, and even harder to find a manufacturer. That was the hardest part because
Okay.
the MOQs, they want like, oh, 10,000. And I'm like, I don't even know if people are going to buy from me. You want me to buy 10,000?
10,000 as a minimum.
As a minimum. And that doesn't include the bottles, the boxes that you have to, create, the designers you have to hire. Like there's a lot that goes into, putting a product together. And then now you're telling me after all the thousands of dollars I spend to come up with all the packaging and stuff, now I got to order 10,000 and it has to sit in an inventory. Mind you, there's an expiration date on the formula. So it's like, so when I found the manufacturer, best believe I jumped on it quick. I said, okay, I scheduled my consultation that week afterwards, and we talked about it, and we started to work, and we just got right to it.
Yeah. How did you
Yeah.
find your manufacturer, like word of mouth or actual like research?
At an event. I was at a beauty expo. I was selling my lashes. I had lashes and I had wigs. And I wasn't even sure I was going to go to this, honestly. They had canceled the event, and then they pushed the date, and then I started to get a little bit discouraged, and I said, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do it. Then at the very last minute I said, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
I didn't make any sales at that. I think I only sold like maybe 5 lashes.
Wow.
But there were speakers there for the manufacturing company. They were there, they spoke, and I was like, okay, well, this is why I'm here. Like I'm here to hear them, to listen to them, and to meet them. So it was well spent. It was money well spent to be there. I will say that, because if I hadn't gone out, I probably would have never, reached out, or I would have never met them. So
you just never know the reason why you're in certain places. It could seem like it's a bust at the time, but something else came out of it. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you, because when I smell, okay, first of all, I'm a makeup artist, so I don't really know much about the hair world. So when I saw your hair fragrance, I was like, this is fire, and it smells so good. Like, I just wanted to, and I asked you too, I was like, can you spray this on your body?
You're not the only one. People have been asking me that too. And I'm like, you know what, you can, like, it's natural. It's not, so you can go ahead and spray it on your body too. So
was it a fun process trying to determine the scent, like mixing things together to get this to the scent that you wanted?
it is fun. It is fun, and it is also a headache because you're thinking for millions of people. Like you're just hoping that they like it just as much as you do. And me myself already is very particular about the scents that I wear. And so when I chose it, I was just like, well, I like it, and I'm already particular. Like I hope everyone else likes it just as much as I do. It took some time. I told them the type of because they work with a fragrance house. So I told them the type of scents that I would like this to be. And at this time, there was a lot of those like Arabian scents that were very popular, and everyone wanted to buy those Egyptian scents and all that stuff. And so I was like, I kind of want something around that. If we could get something like that. So they sent me a few fragrance samples. Took me some time, I think about 2 weeks of like smelling each one, to really like get a idea of how I felt. And then I finally chose one. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with this one.
Yeah.
That was hard to make a decision on because I could have picked multiple, but I said, I'm gonna just start with one, see how things go. And then, eventually I'll like roll out some more, but.
Ooh, different scents, like different hair. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I was going to ask you about that too, because I know a lot of people when they launch products, I've seen people make the mistake of launching like a whole line at one time, but you have like your hero product. Have you been thinking about, aside from different scents. Have you been thinking about adding a different product to the line?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I haven't solidified like one. I'm still like trying to figure it out, but I am thinking about it. I would like a hair care line. I would like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And definitely the hair perfume, the hair fragrance would be the hero product.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just gonna take some time because all this
Mhm.
costs money, like I said, I didn't have a grant. I don't have that stuff. I just have my income and
Mhm.
money that is generating, and I'm just constantly reinvesting. I'm still not even paying myself, just
Right.
trying to reinvest. So, but I am thinking about it.
Yeah. What is that creative process like? Because I know people ask me all the time, like, oh my God, like you're a makeup artist. Like, how come you don't have a makeup line or how come you don't have a beauty line? And I'm like you in the sense of like, everybody got a beauty line. Like, I want to do something that is a little bit different. So I just don't know what that is yet. Like, what is your creative process like for just determining, like, okay, like you said, everybody got a hair growth oil, everybody got this for growing your edges back and all this stuff, but doing something different. I just don't know what that is yet.
Yeah, it's just pretty much for me what it is like as I'm using my day-to-day products, like I think about, what I would prefer, like what would make it easier for me if this was changed or that was changed or just things like that. So as I'm doing my day-to-day, I'm constantly thinking about like how could it be easier for me?
Yeah.
Try to maybe think of a way that it could be easier and then maybe think about like how I can bring that to market.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it usually stems off of something that already exists, at least for me. I don't think
Hmm.
I'm creative enough to just invent something off the
Like,
bat, but
yeah.
like, yeah, but I think when I think about something that's already existing and how I can try to make it better or make it for everyone or make it, just something like that, um, that's kind of where my idea will stem from.
Yeah. Do you think
Yeah.
that all service providers should have a product?
Hey, I know you're enjoying the episode, but I need you to do something really, really important for me, like right now. I need you to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and let the people know how much you love the Friends of Beauty podcast. See, in the podcast streets, I'm gonna let you know something. If you don't leave a review, then people don't know that the show exists, and then the show won't grow. Reviews are so essential to the continued success of the Friends of Beauty podcast, and plus, I really just want to know what you think about the podcast. I appreciate all the DMs, but a 5-star review would be even better. I would love to read your review on the show and give you a shout out for being a loyal listener. And if it's not a 5-star review, don't even worry about it. All right, don't even worry. Just go ahead and send me an email, honey. We ain't got time for that. If you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and even leave a comment to share a takeaway from something that you learned so far. If you don't subscribe or give a thumbs up, then the YouTube streets don't know that the Friends of Beauty podcast exists either. You see how this is going? This is a group effort, and I appreciate you so, so much. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Let's go ahead and get back into the episode.
No, I don't think so. I think that some are best with being a service provider. Like we
Mhm.
need them, we
Yeah.
need them. Um, so I don't think everyone because and I find this often, but once a service provider decides to launch a product, they no longer want to do services, right? And there'll be some, yeah, and they don't longer want to because why do that work when you can just sell? It's not easier, but it's easier. Like it's
Yeah.
less. It's
Let's
less
work on your body. You had to stand up and
exactly.
do all the things.
Exactly. I think all service providers should have they should provide, knowledge to other people. They should maybe share their experience through, teachings and
Mhm.
courses and things like that. I think that is a great way. But I don't think everyone should have a product.
For sure.
Yeah.
I heard somebody say recently, I was moderating this panel, and one of the ladies, she's a celebrity hairstylist, and she said technically hairstylists aren't supposed to be working past 10 years, like because of the toll that it takes on your body, like your wrist. She was like, I've had wrist surgeries, like just standing up and all of the things. She was like, our lifespan is like 10 years, literally.
True, it's true. And I started to get pain in my hands to the point where I like on my way home, I couldn't even hold the pole on the train. It was
Really?
Oh, yeah, it was. And that's why, so when you're in school, and there's a lot of self-taught hairstylists, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you undergo proper training, they teach you the proper way to hold your shears, your scissors, the proper
Mhm.
blow dryer, your brush. Like all these things are to help, with the longevity of your career. But when you're self-taught, you're not learning the foundation and the basics of that stuff. So
Yeah.
sometimes it can, shorten your time as a hairdresser.
Mhm.
Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. Like, some people's bodies are different, but for the most part, like there are ways that you can do things to kind of, fix those issues that might come about. But it's
Okay.
true. Yeah. I was like, I hope I don't get arthritis in my hands. And that's part of the
Right.
reason too why I started to think, okay, I really need to launch something. Cause I mean, I love being a hairdresser, but at the same time, it's tiring
Yeah.
all on my body. And then I got pregnant and I'm just like, I really don't want to do anything else physically. I'm tired.
Yeah. I
You
think a
know?
lot of us are so tired right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. So tired.
And I was
It's a
just talking
lot.
to my friend yesterday. She's a hairstylist too, but she was even talking about the what was she saying? How there are a lot of self-taught people, but then you have the professionals and just the problems that we're seeing now on social media with people and encountering, I guess it's like a customer service issue. She was like, you can't get that from self-taught people. They're not operating off of customer service, and you got to come with your hair washed and your
Oh my
your,
God.
your braids already done for the weave. I don't even
No,
know. It's a
I
lot of
can't
things
even get
going
an
on.
appointment. I can't get an appointment because the book is only open 2 days a week. Like I need someone who has their book open and like I can see the times you're available, but like, oh, I gotta wait till the first of the month to see
Yeah,
what your next month's book is. It's just too much. It's too
yeah.
much.
Because
Um,
everybody's influencers now too.
yeah, that's exactly it. And I just think it's the generation too. The generation just doesn't want to work as hard. They want to still live their life. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
They want to live their life. They don't want to work like we did or, our parents did, like working hard every day and not
Yeah,
enjoying themselves.
you're
Like
not for that.
you're not for that. But at the same time, it's like everything's so expensive nowadays. Like you want to set yourself up properly, you know what I mean? So, you know,
It's a lot.
it's a lot to take into consideration. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about doing hair though, because I was like creeping on your page when I first met you. I was like, oh wow, she's like a platform artist. Like you were doing like a hair competition or something. You were teaching on the
Mhm.
stage. I was like, okay, girl. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it was so fun. So I started off my career working at a small shop in Queens, which was nice. It was close to my house, and so it was something that kind of got my foot in the door.
mhm,
And then after I graduated from beauty school, I knew every time I moved salons, like I already knew what salon I wanted to go to, and I knew I was going to get there, right? So my first salon I wanted to work at, I was an assistant. I
uh-huh.
wanted to at first be a colorist, like do hair color and stuff like that. But then I realized like people see color differently, and that can be dangerous when you're working on a woman's hair. So you can see color,
Like literally
yeah,
see it different.
you see shades differently, shades of color.
Oh my
Um,
God.
yeah, it's so weird because I can see, I could see like red hints of red in someone's hair, but they don't, or they'll see hints of red in their hair, and I'm just like, there's no red in there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, but they'll see it, but it's their hair. So if you can't see what they see, how can you fix what they're seeing, right? So
right.
that's something that I started to see, and I was like, I don't want to deal with that. So I switched. I was like, can I go upstairs to the cutting? So I started to learn how to cut hair, and I would take the classes. I don't know if they still do that in salons now, but I know back in the day that's what it was. Like you worked as a salon assistant, you
Uh-huh.
made the tips, and every one day out the week, every week, you took models and you learned how to, do all the different haircuts and things like that.
Yeah.
Next salon I went to, I wanted to be a stylist, but I had to do another apprenticeship. So next salon I went to was this celebrity hairstylist. He was a huge celebrity hairstylist. His haircuts were $1,200. Yeah,
Woo!
yeah. Black guy. His name was Ted Gibson. And I was like, I want to work for him. You know?
Someone literally just mentioned him on my live. I
Mhm.
went live before we jumped on. Someone literally just mentioned him.
Yeah, I was like, there's a black man out here charging $1,200 for a haircut. I need to work with him,
Okay.
right? So I went over to the salon. And I got the job. I got, I was this apprentice. I was an apprentice for about a year. I took my models every week, and worked my way up and finally got pushed to the floor.
Yeah.
And he was a celebrity hairstylist, so he would take me as an assistant with him to do celebrity hair and things like that. Um, and then eventually he started to invite me on stage too. Like when we
Nice.
would do the hair shows at the Javits Center, he would
Uh-huh.
invite me on stage to do haircuts on the model on the stage. And so that's kind of how it started with me. And then I, on the side, on the weekends, would do photo shoots. And I really loved, like I said, I'm good with my hands. So I would love to create these like weird, crazy headpieces,
Yeah.
photograph them, and like that's just something that I really enjoy to do. And working in a salon, you can't do that on people. Like so I, express my creativity outside of that. So I would do the photo shoots, I would do the models outside. We'd also do fashion week, which was great. So we got to experience when it was Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week.
Right.
Yeah, so now it's a little
You
different.
like fashion shows? You like doing it?
I I did for a little bit, and then I didn't anymore.
It's too fast paced for me.
It's not, yeah, it's fast paced. It's a lot of energy, just it's a lot of it just so much going on,
Hmm.
but then it was great to sit in the show and just watch the models walk after a
Yeah.
while. It's like all that madness backstage. Let me just sit down and enjoy the
They would
three.
never know.
Yeah, they would never know. And then it's all for a 3-minute show. All 5 hours of prep, and then they're walking for 3 minutes and it's over.
Yep. Crazy.
Um, Yeah. So that's pretty much how it started. And then, so no, I would do celebrities with him, or sometimes I would just do my own celebrities.
Yeah.
Um, I would meet a lot of like um, fashion editors in the salon too. And then they would also invite me to, do celebrity hair and things like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was fun. And then I moved to the next salon. The next salon I worked at after that, we didn't really do celebrities and stuff, but I did continue to do Fashion Week a lot. And then I had my own celebrity clients that I would go out and do. I
Yeah.
got invited also through them to do TV shows like Today Show, The Chew when it was on and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like honestly, I had a great career as a hairdresser. Like I think I've experienced like every aspect of what a hairdresser could be. I've done the salon, I've done Fashion Week, I've done
Hmm.
TV shows, I've done um uh editorial. Like I've done every aspect of what a hairdresser like can get into.
Yeah.
All within a matter of like 8 to 10 years. Like it was great. I'm very lucky. Like I always say, I'm very lucky to have the experience that I've had as a hairdresser, because I
Mhm.
could have just stayed in a small shop all the time. Like, you know what I mean? But I've been very lucky and blessed. So
Which one was your favorite to do? Or top two
top two, what? Like
favorite like fashion show or
yeah.
editorial?
I think when my favorite thing started to be just being in the salon with my clients. That
Uh-huh.
was because it was like I was hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
Like have the discussions, we would laugh, we would joke, and it was calm. There was no madness, there was no pressure to be a certain way.
Yeah.
And then I would say the hair shows, because I get to at least show some artistry. Like I would get to build these massive headpieces and,
Yeah.
everyone take pictures of them,
Yeah.
so those two,
Yeah.
I'd say were my favorite.
Did you kind of like exit around the time? Because my friend was basically saying yesterday, like she just wants to do glamorous hair now. She don't have time to be setting up no tripod, trying to do skits and like all this stuff. Did you find yourself getting to the point where it's like, I just want to do hair. Like I don't want to be bothered with like all the extra stuff, content creation and all the things.
You know what? Honestly, so it's funny because I started to get into making videos of my clients before it even really was something that people needed to do, right?
Yeah.
Like I would just make weird videos. I would like tell them swing my hair and then I'll edit it and it'll reverse, and then like it was just like madness that I was doing, but it was just fun at that time for me. Then when the pressure started to come, and then people wouldn't book with you until they saw your Instagram and like all that stuff happened,
Yeah.
it kind of took the fun out of it, honestly. And then I was just like, I don't like social media anymore. Like, and then I kind of stopped posting my clients after that. I stopped taking pictures of the hair. And I was just like, yeah, I was just losing it. I was just like, all the fun is taken out. It's just too much pressure now. Like I just want to enjoy. I don't, and they want to leave too after they're done. Like they got somewhere to go. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stop them. Oh, let's take a picture real quick in a video. No, wait, turn this way. I need this angle. Like it's just too much.
Yeah.
So I kind of just stopped. That's why a lot of like my old pictures and stuff, I don't have a lot anymore. Like my page, I think I just wiped it out at one point, and I was just like, I'm just gonna post pictures of me. That was my page now. So.
That's how I feel about my clients too, because most of the time when I go to them, they're still in their bonnets or they're not dressed like how, they don't look presentable. So I
Right,
don't feel comfortable, or I don't even want that on my page anyway. I don't even want to take pictures of you with a bonnet on, with the
right.
face beat and put it on my page. So I find myself, people ask me now, like, you still doing makeup? You still do? I'm like, yeah, I still do makeup, but because the podcast has taken over so much, like if you go to my page, you're just mostly seeing podcast stuff. And then I don't post my clients, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah,
thing. It's
yeah.
hard to work and capture content at the same time.
You just want to enjoy the moment, just be in the moment with them, and it's a beautiful thing. And then sometimes you could ask them to take a selfie, but then it's not.
Girl, yeah, the lighting is terrible.
Just not. It's just like, all right, forget it.
Or gets lost, on the way. I don't know. They never send it. Pretty much.
Exactly. And then also a lot of the times I'd be so busy. I'd have back-to-back clients. Like I don't have the time to stop and take pictures. My next client is already waiting in the chair,
Yeah.
because I work by appointments. Like I didn't have my client sitting for more than 10 minutes. So that's another thing. And a lot of the time, like I said, the stylists now open up their book 2 days a week. And then
Hmm.
they block out 3 hours for client. Like they are really trying to live the soft life. So they have time. They have time to set up the tripod and take the
Yeah.
pictures after in a video. And they have time for all of that because they're literally taking maybe one or two clients a day. They're charging $5,000 a client. And that's why. So
Yeah.
that.
That is
uh,
crazy. Did you throw out your makeup kit? Not makeup kit, your hair kit?
my hair kit has been dwindling down slowly and slowly. And I'm just like, all right, well, now I could get rid of this. Like I've given rid of the mannequin heads. I keep my shears. The shears were expensive. They were like thousands of dollars. I still use them even to cut my hair. Sometimes I'll do my friend's hair here and there. But a
So you
lot of
like really done with hair, like you're not doing hair at all.
no, no. The only thing I'll do now is if any of my hairstylist friends need an assistant for a wedding, I'll
Mm,
go and I'll assist them.
okay.
I'm not doing no updos. I'll curl the hair. I'll pass you the pins. But, I'm not styling anybody, but I'm there for support if you need me. But that's it. That's all I'm doing.
Oh my gosh, this is so crazy because like I feel like during the pandemic in particular, I saw a lot of my friends in beauty pivot or transition out of doing what they would normally do, like hair, makeup, styling, and they are doing like something totally different. I don't know what I would do, like, well, other than the podcast, because I'm really enjoying this space of like interviewing. I want to get into doing moderating panels and red carpet type of stuff, but I know a lot of people, when you're doing something for so long, you tend to tie your identity to it. So it's kind of like hard for people to let go because like I am a hairstylist. Like that is who I am. But who am I like outside of that? Did you have to kind of go through that? Like outside of being a hairstylist, who is Amanda? Did you have to
Yeah.
kind of go through that?
So part of my journey as a hairstylist was me figuring that out because I kind of just fell into doing hair. It wasn't something that I thought about I wanted to do. Like, no, literally, I was on the phone with my friend one day trying to pick a major for school, and she's like,
Mhm.
"Why don't you do hair till you figure it out?" And I was like, "Okay." Because I would do my hair because I was cheap. I didn't want to pay to get my hair done sometimes, so I'll do my own hair.
Mhm.
And sometimes I'll do my friend's hair if they needed me. And she's like, just do hair until you figure it out. So I applied to beauty school the next week. And then I just had an amazing career since then. And then that's when I started to think about, okay, so it was also during the pandemic. I had to return back to college to get my degree, to finish my degree. I said, okay, finally picked a major. I picked journalism and marketing.
Nice. Ooh.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to school, like I'm not gonna let go of hair completely, but I need to figure something out to, switch up and be more stable and things like that. And my hands started hurting and I was like, I gotta do something.
Hmm.
And so that was part of it. That was part of me figuring out who I am while working as a hairdresser. And
Yeah.
I realized like outside of that, I'm just somebody who just wants to be around people sometimes and just like talk and meet new people. And, like it's just, I don't, there's any career can tie to that really, like
Yeah.
what you're doing. It's just, it wasn't something that I think I needed to think so hard about. It's just who I just wanted to be. And whichever career was going to allow me to be that, then that's just what it was going to be. And which is why also like I love this product thing because I can do events. I can show up to events and I still get to meet people and talk to
Yep.
people, engage and things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a journey. It's a journey, honestly. Like the hair thing it's so crazy how I just fell into it and it's just been amazing. Like I said, that's why I feel so blessed about it because, I could have just been, in a salon the whole time,
Hmm. Yeah.
not experience the things that I've experienced, especially since it wasn't something that I could say was like a passion of mine until I started doing it.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Do you have any tips for people who want to be intentional about working with celebrities? Like that's who they want their clientele to be.
to be intentional about it, well, I think the number one thing is to surround yourself with people that can help get you into that. Um, it's not something that you can just get into. Like you really have to know someone that knows
Hmm.
someone. And so it's good to just be nice and kind to everyone you encounter because you never know who's going to be that one to get you in.
Right.
All the opportunities that I've gotten outside of working, with the salon, the celebrity hairstylist that I was working with, all the all the situations that I was able to get into was because literally a client sat in my chair. We had great
Hmm.
conversation. I didn't even know what they did for a living, and they
Yep.
kept in contact with me and they called me up and they say, hey, actually, I work for this person, or actually, I'm this person, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Amy Fox's daughter. I was doing an event for school, not for school. I was doing an event for my salon.
Okay.
It was a free event. I just showed up. They were like, "Oh yeah, we're just doing celebrity kids or whatever. Just if you want to show up." I was like, "Yeah, I'll show up. I'm not doing anything today." She sat in my chair. I didn't really know who she was at first. She looked like very beautiful, and I was like, "She looks familiar," but I'm like, I'm not sure who this is or whatever. So I was just, we were talking and just vibing or whatever. And she's like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Jamie Foxx is my dad." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Oh, that's great," or whatever. And then she started to keep in contact with me. And then I started to, anytime she was in New York, like I was who she would call to do her hair.
Yeah.
A few other people that sit in my hair, like magazine editors, they heard that someone at ABC needed a hairstylist because their hairstylist was on leave. And they're like, they remembered me because they sat in my chair. So now they called
Right.
me. You know what I mean? So it's just really how you show up for people and it can help get you into these doors. So I
Yeah.
would say, yeah, I would say just, just you never know who you're meeting. These clients, everyone comes from somewhere, they have a background, they have a story, just be careful, your
Yeah.
impressions on people.
And it's like a small degree of separation between us nowadays. I just feel like I'm pretty sure I know somebody that knows Rihanna or like knows her personally. Like it's like you just have to be kind to everybody. And I totally agree. I always tell people too, literally like all the major opportunities that are like brag worthy that people be like, oh yeah, you did that. Like all like those type of opportunities that I've gotten as a makeup artist has come from me knowing somebody. It's
Mhm.
always been the same kind of situation of like, oh, we need an extra makeup artist. Who do you know? And they're like, oh, Quia's great. Like, get a Quia to do it. Or just meeting people at events, clients, all types of stuff. So I'm like a really big advocate for networking, like being intentional about genuine relationships. They always say making genuine relationships because people know when you're just trying to get in there and use them. And some
Mhm.
people are fine with that. But I always say genuine relationships will take you so far. Like I've been eating off my network for 11 years.
There you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's so true. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest advice, and I think it's the most important one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, aside from that, just be professional,
Yeah.
uh, be personable, and it could take you to many places.
Yeah. And you're from New York,
Born and raised
born and raised. What part?
in Queens.
In Queens. Okay. I know you told me you have is it Haitian? You're a Haitian background?
Mhm.
How does
Yep.
your Haitian family feel about you doing hair? Something that's like not a doctor, lawyer, you
Oh yeah.
know.
For the longest time, my mom been trying to get me to be a nurse forever, forever. But they've seen like I've been able to support myself with the hair industry, and so they still think I do hair. I just tell them, yeah, yeah, I'm still doing hair.
Until look, I hope they don't see this interview. They be like, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah, but once they've seen how I've been able to really like take care of myself, support myself in such a way that it's just whatever at this point. My dad is just happy that I'm healthy, I'm making money, and
Okay.
I'm good. I'm not on the streets, I have a home, a roof over my head, and
Mhm.
that's it. They weren't so strict. Like I'm happy to say my Haitian parents weren't strict Haitian parents with me because I'm the baby. By the
Oh,
time
okay.
I came, they was like, okay,
They got lazy. They weren't as strict anymore.
exactly. I was able to do whatever I want.
Hmm.
But I was never a bad child. I was never disrespectful. I was not out doing, drugs and stuff like that. Like I think because I had that freedom, like I didn't feel the need to experiment so much. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I have an aunt to this day. I tell people if she sees me today, she'll still ask me if I'm going to use my degree. She's my family's Jamaican, so like she always asks, "Oh, you still doing it? Like, so when you go use your degree, girl?" I graduated from college. I don't even know how long ago. It's over a decade, so that ship has sailed. Like this is what I'm doing now.
Yeah. I mean,
And
but I feel like that's what it is now. A lot of people, you don't need a degree just with the way things are. I'm not, let me not say that.
depending on what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah. A degree is very helpful depending on what type of door you're trying to get your foot into.
Hmm.
It's not necessary to be successful,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know. So,
Yeah. I think it just depends on what you're doing at the
yeah,
moment. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. So I know with social media, it's easy to look like we have everything together. Do you have any challenges that you're working through right now?
Oh, yeah. Every day is a challenge for me.
Mhm.
Just really just trying to find time and peace, and like I struggle with anxiety a lot because I just feel like I have so much on my plate, so much to do every day, trying to run a business, showing up for work, and showing up for a family,
Yeah,
right? It's a lot. It really
yeah,
is a lot, and I just don't feel like there's enough hours in the day to get all that done and then also tend to myself. You know what
right.
I mean? Like when do I get to tend to me? And then people like they see me on social media when I post. I rarely post. That's another thing. I rarely post on social media anymore. But people still think that I got it all together. I'm happy and things like that. And it's fine that for them to think that. But people who know me personally are like I'm very open about things. Like I don't lie and I'm not out to, paint any other type of picture of myself. So if I look happy, then maybe in that moment I was probably happy, but I have
Mhm.
my other moments too. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And with social media, I think the thing that I struggle with sometimes is like knowing what to share and when to share it and stuff like that. Because you'll hear the stories of people like, oh, like I couldn't pay my rent and this and that, but they'll tell that story like later. They're not telling that story like when they're in the midst of the
yeah.
struggle.
Hmm.
So I don't know, people do have their perceptions of what things look like when you're running a business. And I don't know, I think transparency sometimes like, did you know that my order did not come in? My minimum order did not even ship from China. Do you know
Yeah.
that it's still stuck in customs? Like people don't share like
Yeah.
the
The
gritty.
day of my launch, did I tell you that my half of my orders didn't come in until the day before?
Yes,
It
you
was,
told me. So you didn't have anything that you were gonna.
I didn't have
Yeah.
anything. I think I only had the mini sizes that I was going to sell, but the large sizes they didn't come. Both shows, actually, I did another show last week, and the order didn't come in at all. I was literally getting online orders at the event and had to pull it off the.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I
because
saw
I'm
it
like,
for
oh,
real.
damn, I have enough. You know, it happens. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a girl that did an event in New York a couple of weeks ago. I think it was the Hue event, and she was coming from the West Coast, and her products never made it.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, that is insane. I can't imagine like paying my fee to vend and then my products don't even show up.
Because you don't get the money back. It's gone. Once you paid, that's it. It's
Yeah,
fine. That's what
yeah.
it is. Yeah, it's tough. And then also, like you said, you struggle with figuring out what to post and when to post it. Like sometimes I get my orders and I want to share, like, yes, people are loving my products, but then I think about it and I say, you know what? Sometimes I don't need to share that. Okay, yeah, I got 10 orders today, but tomorrow I probably don't get no orders. And then the next day I probably don't get no orders, maybe one or two. And then the next day I got 12 orders, but I don't need to share that because I realize that, when people see that, sometimes they think you got it, right? What they don't realize is how much money I've invested. So that
Right.
those orders are literally paying back for a little bit, only a tiny portion of what I've spent because I still have to pay for a website. Like I'm still paying for the website. I'm still paying for, I'm paying back for the packaging that I bought. Like there's just still so many expenses that come with it. Like running ads. I'm running ads on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still paying for that.
Yeah.
So all the sales that you probably see that I'm getting is not all in my pocket. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm still in the red.
Right. That's what people
Red.
are staring.
Yeah, I just launched a month. It's been a month. And I'm in the red. I'll probably be in the red for a while,
Yeah.
until like I blow up in the way that, I would like to. But
Oprah's favorite things. I can't wait.
oh yeah.
I can't wait. I feel like it's gonna be in there, like Oprah's favorite
So
things.
I hope so. I'm gonna figure out how to get to her. I'm gonna get it to her
Yeah.
somehow.
Yes, it's only a small degree of separation.
Mhm.
Somebody
Yeah.
knows her, or somebody knows the editor or whatever.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, what do you want your legacy to be? Have you thought about that now since you have a child and everything and businesses and all that?
I haven't put much thought into that, honestly. It crosses my mind every now and then. Um, but it's one of those things that trigger anxiety. You know
Mhm.
what I'm
I
saying?
can
So
understand that. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like I can't think too much about that now. I can't.
Yeah. Because for me, I always feel like I'm not even scratching the surface yet or moving the needle the way that I want. So to think about legacy, I feel like that just puts more pressure on myself. Like, dang, I really got to get out here and get it. Like,
Yes. Yes,
mhm.
for sure. For sure. Like my to-do list every day grows because just another thought pops in my head. Oh, let me add that to the to-do list. And then I look at the to-do list and I get anxiety. I'm like, oh,
Girl, I'll be so sick of myself. I'll be like, why do I keep coming up with all these ideas? Like, cut it out.
yes, it's too much. It's so much.
I really be sick of myself. Like, honestly. Do you have anything that's coming up next that you can share?
Not that I can share, but I did partner up, and right now we're on my, if you go on my Instagram story, you can see that I'm doing a giveaway for samples. So if anyone wants a sample, I do also sell like little sample sizes on my website. But if you would like a free sample, if you like to win, you can enter to win through the website. The link is in the bio, and I also have the post with the website on it.
Mhm.
And you can enter to win, and you might win a sample. And the sample is not going to be a tiny sample. It'll be a 15, like so it travels like actual travel size sample, like same
Okay.
size that I sell on the website too.
Yes, enter it, y'all. Get you a sample. It was
Yes.
this other question. This is like so not random, but I wanted to ask you, as far as how makeup, okay, how can I ask this question? There's a lot of talk about diversity and inclusion with makeup as far as complexion products and stuff like that. Does does hair experience the same thing in the sense that products aren't being, because it just made me think about it when you said like certain other hair fragrances you can't really use it because it's going to dry out your hair. Do women of color experience discrimination in that kind of way as well with hair products not being formulated for them in
Yeah,
particular?
yeah, I'd say so. I think that not as much as in makeup though.
Hmm.
Um, I think when it comes to the products, a lot of the times the companies do give a variation of like products for curly hair, for straight hair, for fine hair, and things like that. But I think when they're defining their products for curly hair, it's different curls. It's not,
Different type
you
of
know what I'm
curl.
saying? It's a different type of curl. And
Hmm.
so within like our like curl patterns that we have, all the different ones we have, within that of curly hair, we have subcategories that we need to address as well. So it's not so easy to kind of just break things down as to curly hair types, fine hair types. No, for us, it's like curly and fine, frizzy and like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like frizzy and coarse, or, just all the other, it's like broken down into all these subcategories. And unfortunately, a lot of like, especially luxury hair brands, don't have that for us. So I think that we do have it every now and then, but I think more so with the makeup than the hair.
Yeah. But they going crazy with the makeup.
Yeah.
They going crazy.
Yeah, I've seen.
Oh my God. I feel like I could just continue to talk to you, but I don't want to hold you up all day. I have to ask you the Friends in Beauty rapid fire questions before I let you go.
Okay.
So whatever comes to your mind, you can spit it out. If you need to elaborate, that's fine too.
Okay.
So the first one is, what are the top 3 keys to your success so far?
Ooh, okay. It is tunnel vision, secrecy. There's a level of secrecy that I have to keep. And I'll elaborate on that. Sometimes when you share things with people, you'll notice that the momentum slows down. And sometimes that is that hater energy that is trying to sabotage. And so that's what I've realized also. And you said 3. So the last one would be just faith. Faith that, things will happen in the way that we can hope for, or at least in a portion of what I would hope for, there, just keep some faith in that.
Yeah. How do you measure your success?
Oh, I don't. I try not to. Because if I do, I'm going to be comparing myself to other people. I'll be measuring myself up to other people and say, and I have a tendency to like do the extreme. I'm going to look at brands like Chanel and try to measure myself up to them. You know what I mean? So I try not to. I try to kind of just stick with my own pace and just be grateful for the milestones that I reach, and just be grateful with that.
Yeah. So comparing your own milestones, not somebody else's.
Yeah.
Are you into zodiacs?
I am not so
Okay.
much though. I'm an Aquarius. Yeah.
What's your birthday?
February 13th.
Girl, I'm the 4th.
Really?
Yeah, so a lot of times when you were talking, I'm like, that sounds like something I would say or something I would do. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I love me some Aquarius because we're just so different,
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about other zodiacs,
Yeah,
but
I just know about me.
I know about, huh?
I'm gonna say, I just know about me.
Yeah, I just know about me and the way I click with other Aquarius and how they understand me and things like that. Because a lot of the time, then I don't even know if it's, and I struggled with this for a long time. I didn't know if it was me that people just didn't understand. But then when I talk to some other Aquarius, I'm like, you know what? We kind of all have the same struggles. Like people just don't understand us.
Only we understand us, and only we understand that we care, but we don't. Like we care, but we don't
Here
really
up
care.
until you give us a reason not to.
Exactly. Then it's done.
It's done. That's
That's
it.
so cool. Okay. Let's see. What is the best advice you've ever received, or a piece of advice that's just always stuck with you?
Oh man. You can't live for other people. You're not always going to make people happy with the decisions and the choices you've made. Especially when people are already unhappy with themselves, they would make you feel guilty for your successes and your progress and things like that, but you're not living for them. You're living for yourself. And they could get on board with you or not, you know what I mean? But you're not living for them. You're living for yourself. And so that's something that I had to think about a lot and try not to take things personally and things like that. It's hard, but you get called selfish a lot when you're just trying to focus on important things or things that are important to you, because if you don't, nobody else will. So
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that. What is a piece of advice that you would give to another hairstylist who is trying to launch a brand right now, but they're just feeling like a little overwhelmed and discouraged? Maybe they're feeling a little antsy about it. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, don't be afraid to reach out for support from somebody, from other people in the industry. Don't be afraid. Like there are some people that you'll reach out to for some help and they'll shut you down. Like I've reached out to
Yeah.
some stylists to kind of just look at my product and tell me what you think, and ghosted, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still not afraid to reach out to people and kind of just see what they think, and just don't be afraid to like reach out. And especially people who've known me or come across me, like I've stood beside other brands at events and will give them information to my resources. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like I will give away. So you'll come across somebody who was willing to help you or is willing to, give you some advice or give you some resources. Just, don't be discouraged and just don't be afraid to reach out and just be prepared to get ghosted or get the door slammed in your face or whatever. Just be
Yeah.
prepared for that. There are some people who don't want to see you excel because they know what you have is good and they're afraid that you're going to surpass them.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. You're going to come across that, but you will come across some genuine people that are willing to share with you. So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to ask.
Absolutely. Speaking of resources, what's a resource that helps you in your business that you can share with the friends and beauty community?
Ooh, I can call the company name out.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Fiverr.
I know that's right.
Fiverr.
Yeah.
Fiverr. I have found my logo created on Fiverr, and my
Wow.
logo is very nice. And I didn't pay thousands for it. And I'm so
Right.
happy I found Fiverr years ago. Fiverr helps with some of the content that I've been able to create on my business page. Fiverr.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't afford product photography and I need to, get like what do they call it? Like a mock image of my product.
Yeah.
Fiverr. Fiverr, Fiverr, Fiverr. Fiverr is your best friend when you are on a budget.
I know
And
that's
you
right.
need, yeah. Because you're helping them out too. These are also, people who are working in the
Independent contractors and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. So you're helping them out and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had success and I've also wasted money on Fiverr. Do you like
Bit of
how do you
you could
choose the
be
people?
wasting so much more if you know what I mean. Like
That's true.
it could be so much more money. Like if they created a piece of content that I didn't like, maybe I'm losing $40, $50.
Yeah, that's true.
Aside from one time, I think I paid $500 one time on something that I didn't like, and I still had to pay it because they did the work.
Right. Right.
And that wasn't on Fiverr. That was through a company. $500. I just was hurt by that, but.
I
I
do
want
be on Fiverr for like thumbnails sometime. I found an editor on there for an episode that I had that I couldn't edit at one point. It was Fiverr be coming through.
to.
Yeah, okay. So the last one, I just want you to fill in the blank and just say, my name is blank. And the key to longevity and success is blank, like whatever you think it is.
Okay.
You can go ahead. You can say it. My name is blank.
Oh,
And the key to longevity and success is
okay. So my name is Amanda, and the key to longevity and success is consistency.
oh, of course you would say consistency. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yes, consistency.
So consistency, I feel like it ties a bunch of other things together. Remaining consistent through the negativity around you, remaining consistent through your fears, remaining consistent through all these things. And I think it helps, just being say, this is the goal. Let's keep on with it. Let's keep the pace. Let's keep going. Like, I think it helps.
Yes, absolutely. This has been such a great conversation. Like before you go, like share your social media, website, however you want people to connect with you, connect with the brand, buy some products, follow the journey, everything.
Sure. So the best way to stay connected with me is to my business page. It's at shop.ambroise, and Ambroise is spelled Ambroise. And you can also check out my websites. There are some new things that will be coming soon by the end of the year. And you can view that at www.shopambroise.com.
Yay. Thank you so much, Amber. It's inside joke, y'all. Thank you so much, Amanda. This was great. I'm so happy that I met you. I'm gonna be like following you, like get on your nerves. Like I'm really excited for everything.
Listen, if you need a co-host, if you're at an event and you need a co-host, I want to come.
Yes, journalism major, period. Yeah, but seriously, I'm so happy I met you because I'm really so excited. So best of luck to you with everything that you have coming up, everything you have going on right now. May you stay encouraged, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with another friend in beauty. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, rate, and leave a 5-star review so that other friends in beauty can find the show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, #Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.